Bear. We're still here. G'day, guys. Welcome back to Beers and Breakevens. Bit of a delayed start there. Welcome in for another week, Origin week, or leading into Origin week, shortened week. Bit of chaos, plenty to get stuck into. And I want you to picture how weird this would look. So me with my soft podcasting pause. If you were driving down the road and you saw me on the side of the road with a shovel in hand, digging holes, sweat all over me, working hard, you go, that's a fucking weird look. It just looks out of place. Now look at Tim Williams holding a trophy. That's what we're looking at here. It just looks fucking bizarre. Seeing you be relevant and successful on Beers and Breakevens, I am just not used to it.
Yeah.
And I find it wild you've grabbed it this early because you are a bedsheet merchant and you've had a good week and that's all good and well. But I love this for Brand Guru.
Well, I'm 6 hours into podcasting today, Guru. Because the long weekend, the Monday off, we did Bloke in a Bar today, into Playbook, into this. So
I carried you through the first 4.5, to be fair.
You did, and I appreciate it. So it's I am a bit delusional, but yeah, as you said, you just continue to dig yourself into deeper SuperCoach holes, and the Stallions are back.
Have you held that before?
Quite firm, isn't it?
Because the first time you picked it up was upside down. And I'd say, no, Tim, the other way around. It's just like a fish out of water.
I tell you what, it feels good.
Does feel good.
Does feel real good.
I know. Kathmandu, she's made her return from Bali, and dare I say, if I was to glance at the scoreboard, it may say Bali 1, Cat 0, dare I say.
You could say that. Whoa, my voice.
Whoa, shit. Bali's on 2-0.
No, I've come back with a bit of a sore throat.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but we're still here. We're still going to get it done. I will just probably be a little quieter today. Just got to rest the voice. We've got a lot of content to get through this week. So
yeah, we do. We've got a lot of big 10 days coming up here in the Roo Studios. Can I just ask you, if I was a young whippersnipper looking for a party in Bali,
oh God,
where would you advise?
Just firstly, would it be a whippersnipper? Like, are they cutting lawns over there, or is it a whippersnapper?
No, whippersnipper. If I was a young whippersnipper looking to cut some grass in Bali, looking for a party, where would one go? Where would a young me and Timothy go?
Now, I mean, I can only speak to the vibe that I go for, which might be a little different to yours.
What is that vibe that you go for?
Well, you replied to one of the stories saying that it looked like a nightmare. We went to Di Maria, which is a restaurant that turns into a club.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, I know you know. And it was very Afro beats, Amapiano style music. And I'm not sure if that's really you've got a clueless look on your face.
What did she say? Who does he play for?
Guru's never heard of Taylor Swift.
Nah, she one of her friends put up an Instagram thing, and I thought it was her, and I replied to it. Thankfully, I get along with this friend very, very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I saw her reply come in, I was like, "Oh, I'm
we thought that
the wrong
was
person."
No, but we thought it was pretty funny. But there's Deza Kitsune, which is another restaurant turns club. There's all of the beach clubs as well, which we didn't do this time around, but we have done. Look, there's something for everyone.
There is, yeah.
In Bali.
I'm just trying to picture Guru at a nightclub on the D floor.
Don't bother.
God, he's a
Are
little.
you the type to, get a table, pop some bottles?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What else would I be doing?
If it meant Guru didn't have to be standing up on the dance floor, double park with his scotch and cokes, he'd pay whatever it could to get a booth.
Yeah, I back that. How good.
Love that.
All right, good times. You been to Bali?
Nah.
Never?
No.
You come across like a Bali guy.
Really?
Yeah, you actually do.
You do come across like a Bali guy.
I feel like that's not a good thing.
Oh, no, I didn't say it was bad. I've been to Bali. I didn't mind it.
I'm a Europe man, a bit more cultured.
I know, yeah. Please. All right. Now, Lontel, major sponsor for season 2025, doing fantastic things over there, Lontel. Obviously, guys, the link's in the description. Go check out if available in your location. I know that my brother-in-law got it this week. Shout out to you, Jack Ringwood, one of the all-time great dickheads. So he got it this week. He's absolutely flying, doing fantastic things. He's he just moved into the apartment next door to me. He's playing COD, swearing at 12-year-olds, apparently sleeping with people's mothers and just carrying on in there, yelling and screaming. And he's doing it at a rapid rate, thanks to Lontel.
It's good gear. I went down the coast over a long weekend, 3 nights down there. Guess how much my internet bill cost me while I was away?
Duck egg.
Duck eggs.
Starts with Z, ends in Eero.
KL
Cal Zero. Yes, very good gear. Make sure you reach out to Lontel. The link's in the description. Where'd you go over the weekend?
The beautiful Mollymook.
Oh,
Ran into a
lovely.
few Beers and Breakevens listeners as well, actually.
Did
mate.
ya?
Yeah. Something
Good on.
great.
I like Mollymook.
Beautiful area of the world.
Is that ice cream shop still there? Remember that as a child going there? They used to have a mad ice cream shop.
Yeah, down
Still
the
kicking
beach.
about?
Yeah, moving
good to
spot.
see.
Pumping.
Unreal. Bit of rainbow.
You're a rainbow.
Oh, as a kid I was. Oh, what, you weren't? Too busy eating your fucking crust on a cone.
Guru strikes me as a vanilla ice cream sort of man.
I am a vanilla. But as a kid I was rainbow. I used to fuck with the best of them. Don't worry
What
about
were you,
that. I had
Timmy?
rainbow.
What did you default to as a kid? Ice cream flavour.
Sucker for cookies and cream.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm still a
what's-
sucker for cookies and cream.
Is it peppermint? Like the green one with like chocolatey bits in
Mint
it?
chocolate
Mint
chip.
chocolate chip. Oh, it's good shit.
Oh.
As a kid?
Yes, as a kid.
Yeah, wow.
I actually liked it more as a kid than I do now.
Really?
I'm not a huge fan these days, but I didn't mind it as a kid. I just loved chocolate ice cream. I was
Yeah.
all
Plain and
around the
simple.
chocolate, plain and simple.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Lontel doing great things. Anything else for Lontel? Anything else to share with us? Anything to
Nah.
news to break? Anything happening?
Nah.
No. Good. Okay.
I coughed my way through the podcast last week. I apologise profusely. It was the start of a cold. I'm at the end of a cold, so you're about to cop it again. I apologise in advance. Get over it.
It's a very you got a bit of Adam O'Brien about you. Telling the audience what's what. I don't like it. I think there's a disconnect.
I have a
from the people
lot in common with Adam O'Brien. Neither of us have fans.
Fucking dictator over
Also
there.
means there's an apology incoming.
Yeah, brace yourself for that. That might be a late show event. Thursday, 7:50 p.m. We've got the Sharkies and the Dragons. That's coming to you from Shark Park. For the Sharkies, Hodoroti lining up in the centre position, obviously replacing KL Zero. Mulatalo, he is on the wing, returning from suspension. For the Dragons, Sloan comes in for Tui Palotu. Allen in the centres for Val Holmes. Now, I have heard that there could be a debutant coming to the Dragons backline, so maybe just keep an eye on that situation. Gula has moved into the prop position. I think he was 18th man last week, and Harmsella gets his opportunity off the bench as well. Anything you want to touch on that game, mate?
No, but we missed something.
What do we miss?
Telling people how we went last week.
Oh, yeah.
Good try.
Oh, I didn't want to. but
Real good try.
Take us away. How'd you go?
Yeah, well, thanks. 1,472, mate. Up 1,600 spots to 2,000 basically on the dot. So the Stallions are back.
Yeah, the Stones are doing well.
Hence the fondling of the trophy at the start of the show. We didn't really
Yes.
give context of that.
No, we didn't. I think they put two and two together though. Yeah, the Grizzlies not doing so well. We dropped about 700 spots. I think I've floated between 11,500 and 10,200 for the last 6 weeks in a row. So we're just going nowhere fast. When I do well, I don't move up that much. When I shit the bed, I don't do that badly. So fingers crossed we can make moves. But I think all the good work I did over the last 3 weeks just went out the fucking window.
It evaporated in the space of 1 week.
Yeah.
It does show how quickly it can change. Mate, last week I was in free fall and I was like, shit, this has turned sour very quickly. A week later, my pods went well. I'm like, all right, no, we're good again. We're good.
Yeah, it was really good to see that Jerome Hughes did so well for you. He absolutely fucking dry-fisted me in draft this week. It was fucked. He had a fucking 32-point game last week. A bye next week. Glad I was there for the 135. You might remember my draft grand final last year. He dropped 180 on my head on Friday night. That was fucking mad. Shout out to you, Steve.
I was wondering, we're
going
going to get to we're going to get to clear replacement soon and like the options there. And you were very cool on Hughes very quick. I'm like, because I owned him, because your draft opponent owned him, because he, in your words, dry-fisted you in your draft final last year. Like, it all adds up.
I fucking hate him in draft. He kills me every time. It's bullshit. Anyway, Friday, 8 p.m. Is there anything you want to touch on with that game? Dragons there.
Well,
Obviously,
I mean,
the cheapie held on.
The only
Awesome.
the only thing would be is that you would just probably piqued a bit of interest when you said a potential backline debutant. Is this going to affect Nathan Lawson or not?
No, I think if he does debut, I think he will come in the centre spot.
Okay.
I think it'll be
Corey Allen.
He's got a last name that I can't pronounce. I think
Nicholas
he's a Greek fella.
Sagranis.
Yeah. I think he was playing in the back row. He's moved to centre. I actually know his cousin, funnily enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I've heard a rumour that he could debut this week. So I don't know why he wouldn't be named, but he was on the extended, I believe. So just one to watch there. But yeah, we'll wait and see. All right, let's move to Friday, 8 p.m. Titans versus the Seagulls. Seabar Super Stadium for the Titans. Obviously, guys, Origin players out this week. So Joel lines up in the front row. Haas in jersey 13. Josh Patston, who I believe it's his debut. Congratulations to him coming off the bench. And the GOAT, Tui Simpkins. It's just his world and you're visiting it, Timbo. What a play. For everyone that had him from round one, we bring in this guy. We use him as a VC, loop a couple of times, does well, and then we just get to a buy round and go, hey, Tui, come and knock out a 50 for us, mate. Brace yourself. Tui Simpkins has arrived.
If Tui comes on and bags a try and that's like 40 to 50 points, I'm going to throw down and be so pissed off.
It will be unreal. Very excited about that. Sam Verrill's also on the extended, so he might come into the starting side. And, Sam Verrill's handy hooker might put a front row forward over, might put a front row forward over off the bench, might put a front row forward over who's on the bench who hasn't played first grade in 4 years, might put a front row forward over that comes off the bench that hasn't played first grade in 4 years that's sitting on my pine. You never know. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm liking the Tui Simpkins play this week. They're taking on, I almost died. They're taking on the Manly Seagulls. We only had 2 lozenges in the studio before, and I'll give you the hot tip who didn't fucking get it.
Shout out to Diff Lamb. That's doing wonders, Cat.
Oh, That's great to hear, mate. Mad to hear. For the Manly Seagulls, Turbo, he returns at fullback. Jason Saab on the sting. Takiaho returns in the front row. Jazz back to the bench. Anything you want to touch on there, mate?
At Manly, nah, not really, mate. Jazz benched again for any owners there, but he started last week, so who knows?
Who knows, yeah.
A bit cold, mate.
Yeah, a little bit chilly. Let's move. My throat's fucked too, but it's not my story you'll hear. Saturday, 5:30. Knights, Roosters, McDonald Jones Stadium for the Knights. Fletcher Sharp at fullback. Fletcher, don't you dare cough, motherfucker. Fletcher Hunt at centre. Hastings at 5'8". Cogger at 7. You got Matty Croaks and Brody Jones in the front row. Crossan at 13. Matty Arthur coming off the bench. For the Trickies, Sammy Walker returns. Told you he was returning last week. You doubted me. How dare you? Never got an apology for that either, but that's fine.
I doubted New South Wales Rugby League website who didn't name him.
Yeah, did I tell you or did I tell you? Who do you think runs that website?
Why would
right?
I trust you? Yeah, that's true.
Savala at 5'8", Benai's at 9 once again. Fiketti starts in the front row. Egan, Butcher and Wong on the edges. Sandon Smith on the bench in jersey 14 along with Zach Docker-Clay, and also Nat Butcher returns there. Sam Walker, big return this week. Exciting times for the Roosters.
Yeah, not for supercoaches who own Sam Smith, namely...
Not a me problem.
You're the weirdo in the 1% again.
What, is he that highly owned?
Not that high, but he's 80% amongst the top 10% overall and among the top 1% overall. Not a you issue, but 87% owned.
Yeah, I'm only just in the top 10% anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, you don't own. That's so weird. That's a huge spanner.
Yes, it is.
You're
Yep.
laughing. Do we think it stays like that? Like Sammy Walker played 40 minutes in Cup last week. Do you reckon it's a big thing to come in 40 minutes back from an ACL, start at halfback as the go-to? Like maybe this is just me being an ambitious Sandon owner, but we confident he starts?
Walker? Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, from what I've heard, he will. And I think it makes the most sense for Savala to be his halves partner. That long kicking game's been an issue with the Roosters around Sam Walker. So I think Savala's the best choice there now at 5'8".
Yeah, I see certainly why they're doing it this week and like why they maybe want to trial out Walker and Savala, but because Connor Watson's out and Sam Smith probably spends a bit of time at number 9, you'd imagine. But I don't know, like there's a bit of chat that like maybe it's Savala and Walker long term and chat of Cherry Evans and that. If this cost the club Sand and Smith, I think they would kick themselves for a long time.
Yeah, if I'm the Roosters, I would be heavily looking into a loan deal for a year or so with one of these dudes. I'd be loaning Sand on to a Parramatta or someone to make sure you get him back because, you wouldn't want to lose him.
He's been awesome this year. And anyway, it's a spanner for super coaches, but so be it.
As far as the Newcastle Knights go, mate, obviously Sharp back to fullback. I think he's owned by just about everyone there.
He's not everyone, mate.
Really?
I'll get it up, but it's not
So
as
when
much
he's owned
as...
by more than when I fucking brought him. It was a fun 2 weeks for your shit on it.
He's just among the top 10% overall. He's 72%.
Okay.
So
I can live with
enough.
that. Yep.
Among the top 1%, he'll be higher. But yeah, so there's a bit of not pottish there. 88% amongst the top 1%.
Yeah, okay. Anything else on that game, mate?
No.
Anything else on that game, mate?
Oh, we got mate.
Okay. Saturday, 7:35, Cowboys, Dolphins from North Queensland, T-ville, as we've got written here. The Cowboys, Braden Burns lines up at centre. Valia, he's obviously suspended for a week.
Is that one of Cat's cool abbreviations?
Yeah, T-ville. I haven't heard that one before.
That's mad, Cat.
T-ville.
Oh, God.
T-ville.
I just did it to save time, guys.
Yeah, well, you nailed it. Here we are. Murray Talangi on the wing, Clifford at 7, Purdue at 6, O'Donnell on the edge, Lawton at 9, Taumalolo in jersey 13, and congratulations to Caden Lars making his debut in jersey 17, son of the one and only Tom Leroy Lars. And I was saying to Kat today, because there was no one else here, Tim,
Wow.
doesn't feel like that long ago since Tom Leroy Lars
Yeah,
was
putting
running
two and
around.
together. Big Tommy Leroy, he didn't muck around with his
He's
reproducing, did he?
yes, that's very well put.
My head went to that as well. I'm like, Tommy's not that old.
How old would Tom Leroy Lars be?
Oh,
Can you investigate
Yeah.
Tom Leroy
I'm
Lars?
going to go 38.
I was going to say 9.
He's 39.
Yeah, fuck, I'm zoned in. So what does that mean? If, let's say, can you look up the age of Caden Lars, please? The H is silent.
I'll go 19.
I'll go 20.
Should make him.
I think it's 19.
He had above at 20.
Yeah, right. So he
muck around.
So had a kid young and then went
Chili
on to play Origin, Kangaroo. That's a very good night.
Yeah.
How old is he, Mando?
Caden is born in 2006. He's 19.
Had
Yeah,
him,
that
at,
makes sense.
Had him at
Josh is
20.
21.
had him at 20.
Had him at 20.
Chilly night in the capital.
How good. Good on you, Caden. Unreal to see, brother. Very good video on the Cowboys Instagram as well of him being announced to get his debut jersey there. For the Finns, Averillo at 1, Fangai at centre, JMK at 9, Donahoe at 13, and Raymond Stone coming off the bench. Good to see Taumalolo back on the team list, mate.
Absolutely. And, geez, do they need him?
Yeah, fucking oath.
This week, yeah. This all signs point to the Finns after that big win last week. So they're nervous non-Osako owner this week with a lot of people bringing him in because the matchup is very good for him.
Have we got Osako in stats or anything this week? Will he?
No, we yarned about him in
I know we
the
did,
late
I
show.
know
Might have been
we
the-
did.
I think it was the stat deep dive last week.
Yep, it was the stat deep dive. What's he priced at? 625K. Games incoming. Cowboys. Newcastle. South Sydney by Cronulla, North Queensland.
Pretty good.
I don't want to break any news, but he's coming into calculations for the Grizzlies side out there. We'll talk about him during the week and maybe later tonight. You just never know. Anything else you want to touch on in that game, mate?
No, good, mate.
Sunday, 4:05 p.m, Rabbitohs Bulldogs from Accor Stadium for the Bunnies. Gray at fullback, Humphreys at 7, Bud Sullivan at 5'8". For the Doggies, Kiraz moves to centre, Wilson on the wing, Galvin at 5'8", Curran at prop, Preston on the edge, Hayward at 13, Turpin in the 14, Morin in the 17. Not overly Supercoach relevant, mate, but I was thinking about it today. I reckon Serraldo and Gus would be stoked that Matt Burton's 18th man because it gives them an opportunity to get Galvin in there with no fanfare, no questions, no shit. I reckon it's the first time it's
Good
ever
point.
worked in their favour.
Yeah, they don't.
I'll make a few of them. You just gotta
very
listen,
few, but the old
Got
ones.
to put your listening ears on,
The old
my
one
friend.
sneaks through to the keeper. It is a good option, yeah, because as I said, if they put him in there ahead of Sexton, shit would hit the fan.
Yep.
Which they probably would have, let's be fair. Yeah, it has worked out well.
Anything else you want to touch on in that game, mate?
Just that you two dogs and didn't have any faith in Connor Tracy and he had a mad try assist and scored 68, so screw you both.
Yeah, and you know what made it even worse?
What?
I got down to the final game of my draft game this weekend, and that try assist beat me.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's so fucked.
You deserve that.
I literally lost by 20 points. I lost by that play.
You deserve it and you know it.
Yep, very fair. I didn't think about that until that very moment. But yeah, that's fucked.
You can
Anyway.
imagine when he put that try assist over for kick out that I was very calm on the lounge watching.
Yeah, you would have enjoyed yourself. Now, the teams on the bye this week, the Broncos, the Eels, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Storm, the Warriors, and the Tigers. Now, Let's move to NRL Physio. He's had an enormous weekend with a lot happening. Plenty of questions for him. Jaden Campbell, Tamale, all that stuff going on. He actually asked Timmy if he could do some Tamale work for him. I joked with Physio today going, mate, is a Queenslander planning on doing their job at any point over the next few months or what?
It's in their DNA, mate.
Fucking unbelievable.
Ask.
Yeah, and by the way, just on a serious note, thoughts and prayers with Fizz. Getting dropped from the Queensland captaincy is never easy, so we're thinking of you, mate. Hand over to him now.
Alrighty, fellas, SuperCoach injuries for this week. We have the 3 CTWs who went down with injury over the weekend. So Christian Tuipulotu, his 3rd hamstring injury of the weekend. It is the other hamstring, and it was described as hamstring awareness at the time, which usually isn't anything too major. But at this point, I just think if you've got him, you have to cut bait. 3rd hamstring injury. Yeah, the risk is just way too high. You've got plenty of other guys who are relatively healthy at the CTW position who don't have that injury risk moving forward. Savelio Tamale, thanks to Timmy, reached out to him today to work some magic and get some information for me, doing my job for me, Tim, which I appreciate. 10 to 12 weeks, so significant kind of kneecap dislocation injury. So, yeah, obviously a trade out. You're not going to hold him because 10 to 12 weeks is minimum, so it could even be longer than that. Could be season over, which would be a big blow for the Raiders. Then Galore, he's probably the big one. The Sharks haven't announced that as of at the moment when I'm recording, which is Tuesday night. It might be out by the time you listen to this, maybe. But at the time, he finished the game with his arm in a sling. They usually don't put it in a sling unless they suspect at least a partial tear. You're very rarely going to see a pec strain, minor strain put in a sling. So I'm bracing for at least kind of like 4 to 6 weeks at this point in time, potentially longer, potentially a complete rupture in 12 weeks. So I think... bake into your expectations. We'll probably find out later in the week, but at the moment, I'm expecting Galore to be a sell and someone like Hiroti to be a pretty solid buy. I think if Iro's out for 12 weeks, I'd be jumping all over Hiroti. But if it's 4 to 6, maybe only a short-term play at that position. Then Timmy... Wim Tilliams asked for some information on Jaden Campbell with his knee. He played for the first time this year with knee strapping. We spoke about on the Magic Sponge how he had like a PCL mechanism, so knee into ground the week before. He is a bit like Reece Walsh in that he doesn't have a PCL, or he tore his PCL in that knee. It just leaves it highly susceptible to aggravation. So the best way I describe it is, something that is usually a 3 out of 10 pain all of a sudden becomes an 8 out of 10 pain. But the recovery is usually pretty quick. The aggravation risk just hangs around. So we saw that with Reece Walsh over the weekend. He had that knock that everyone thought he was going to be out for the game and be really bad. But then he was back, stepping off his left and scoring tries. But that sort of aggravation risks exist moving forward. For Campbell, because it's a more chronic injury, I'm not as stressed about it. I brought him in last week, even accepting that he has that PCL injury there. So I'm not overly concerned. I'd still be fine jumping on him if you're all about him, but there is that little bit of aggravation risk baked in there if you're, splitting hairs between him and another guy. We spoke about Reece Walsh. I don't think there's too many concerns there in terms of long term. It's just short term. He's dealing with some aggravation risks. So he was able to stay on the field on the weekend, but moving forward, he could be required to, take an early mark if the Broncos are up big or down big or something like that. Cody Walker, 3rd soft tissue strain for the year for me. It's just a no-go, even when he comes back, even if it's minor. I just think, if you bring him in, you just got to bake in that you're going to have to probably burn another trade on him at some point as well. The Rabbitohs could get hot to finish the year, so maybe I'll eat my words, but at this point in time, Cody Walker, just a massive risk for me at this point. And look, I see a lot of discussion around which Origin players to keep, which Origin players to drop. I think the one who I haven't seen talked about too much in terms of his, what's his performance going to be like over the Origin period, what's his likelihood of backing up, is Tino. Tino is dealing with that sternum issue. Sternum rib issues are notoriously pretty nasty for middle forwards to deal with. So Tino's had 2 down weeks, obviously backing up from Origin 1 2 weeks ago, and then this week suffering the sternum injury. His production was quite down. We often see a 10 to 20% drop in Supercoach scoring in middle forwards who play through rib and sternum injuries. So for me, he's one who I'm definitely considering trading out this week. I think, I've seen the Munsters, the Clearys, the Payne Haas, these kind of guys trading it out. But I just think you should definitely consider a Tino trade if you're kind of tossing up between a few. Because, even though I love him as a gimpy boy and I was big on him to start the year, but I think that could be a little opportunity where you trade him out and then you get him back in post-Origin, maybe 100k cheaper or something like that. So, guys, as always, if you want more information, Magic Sponge Pod, but otherwise I will talk to you next week.
Shout out to Fizz. I'll tell you what, listening to that, Timmy, I did get PTSD from one word that he used, susceptible. Now, when I was a teenager, I had a shocking stutter, and S's used to get me. And I remember sitting in a classroom once, and I saw that word coming later in the paragraph, and I thought, if a plane was to hit this classroom now, I'd be okay with it, because it was either that or a stroke in the next 40 fucking seconds. Managed to get through it, I think, but big PTSD moment for me there.
That hurts.
Don't want to make it about me, but I thought I'd just share that. I'm always honest with the listeners.
A tough one for young Roo.
Yeah,
and it's been a long path, but you are the man that you are today, mate, and look at you, susceptible.
Huge success.
Listen
Did
to
you like that?
Yeah,
I was stutter on S's cat tonight. All right, what have you got on the injury front? What'd you take from that, Timber?
I mean, the big one is obviously wait for confirmation, but Kale Iro longer term with that pec injury, so we'll wait to hear what happens there. But I've got some stats to come on Mwene Hiroti, who's a big one. Ooh. And a lot of those boys, Tamale, long term as well, so he's a sell for owners out there. I think they were the big ones, and certainly around the Sharkies.
Shout out to Tamale. Fuck, he served us well. A couple of big scores in there. He's done well. He has just been traded out of my team. We'll get to who for very soon, but he's hit the frog and toad there. All right, shout out to Fizz, always doing great things. Make sure you guys go check out his podcast. Drops at the end of every round. Obviously got all your injury information, but I really like the chemistry with a CH he's got with his co-host. I think they do really good things over there.
The yin and the yang.
The yin and
good
the
lads.
yang. Yeah, very good lads. Doing
both
great
in
things.
Form.
Speaking of
Magic Round.
Yes, they were both in form.
Yes.
Yeah, they were killing it. I thought you'd fucked up the name of his podcast, which is the Magic Sponge, not Magic Round. But both doing good things. Speaking of doing good things, Blue Wealth Property. Let me introduce you. Now, they're live in Queensland. Now, they've got a Wealth Through Property seminar. Learn everything you need to know about building wealth through property and how Blue Wealth uses a research process to identify the best investments for your financial future. Get all the info you need to create your wealth through property. Come and say g'day to Tony and Morts and the Blue Wealth team. They will be more than happy to chat investment properties, wealth creations, and all things State of Origin. Now, I think the State of Origin jag is because it's in Queensland and they fucking suck at State of Origin and the boys are happy to give them a bit of stick. So I really like that. Now it's live on the Sunshine Coast, 6 p.m, the Maroochy Door RSL, Tuesday the 24th of June. And they're live in Brisbane, 6 p.m. at Rydges at Fortitude Valley, Wednesday the 25th of June. We're going to be on the Sunshine Coast next week, Catman.
Next week, I know.
You going to go to the Maroochy RSL?
Am I ever? We might do a live podcast show from there.
Could do.
We have got the CBA Bowl next week up there on the Sunshine Coast. So we'll be up there. Really looking forward to that. But Tuesday the 24th of June and Wednesday the 25th of June, go and check out Blue Wealth Property. The link is in the description for both of those events, whichever one you choose to go to. So, if you are a Queenslander up there, I know it's a tough time for you guys, but get out, support Blue Wealth Property. Go and have a listen to it. It might not be information you use today, but you want it in your back pocket for when the day comes. Education is key, Timber.
Took words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Well, try and be a little bit more creative, my friend. Reach out, Blue Wealth Property, doing great things up there in Queensland. All right. Our Beers and Breakevens League. Now, the winner this week was Matty. He coaches the Isotopes. Now, if you know the way to mine and Timmy's collective heart, my heart directly is probably Seinfeld, but our collective heart is The Simpsons. So shout out to the Isotopes. Jeez, that was a good episode.
Oh, few of them.
The main one, though.
Go Tobes, go Tobes. Oh no, you know me, Ken. I've been a supporter since day dot, since day one. There you have it, a true Tobes supporter.
Oh, I love it. How
You
good.
suck, Tobes. Home with their winning.
Oh, shout out to the Topes doing good things. A shout out to Matty. He scored, 1,631. What a nudge. That's how much as high as I'm going to score this weekend.
I could have doubled you last weekend.
Yeah, not far off, unfortunately. He went up 14,000 spots to 18,000. So good to see. Shout out to Matty. Send an email to beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. Got a very, very kindly worded email from the fella that won last week that we never actually said to send the email out. So I apologise for that.
Did you get roasted?
No, he was pretty polite about it. He was a lot more polite than I would have been about it. So I appreciated that, but I was also a little bit disappointed that I didn't get razzed for it. But can't win them all.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. So send your emails, guys. We're sorting hats out as we speak, and we'll have them out to you very soon. We've got 1,000 footballs in here, so they'll be going out to you guys very soon. All right. Now, obviously, Kat, your throat, I know it's not at 100%. If you can give me like 70 on this,
Yep.
I'd appreciate it. Timmy, stat, deep.
dive.
Nice.
Beau Fermor, one of the unluckiest guys in the country this week. First of all, because he's from Queensland. Secondly, because they let him go this week, which I thought was a little bit harsh.
Yeah, to quote my team list article on the SC Playbook website today, Beau Fermor missed Origin selection bracket, stitch up.
Oh, fuck. It is a good old-fashioned stitch-up, isn't it?
Like
Very Queensland of them.
Like 15 minutes, came on at the end of the game, they're getting towed up. Oh, yeah, it's Beau Fermor's fault you lost. Let's drop him.
You feel a bit passionate over this one, do you?
I quite like Beau Fermor.
Oh, so do I. I think he is. I would be stoked if Beau Fermor was a New South Welshman. I would love that. Yeah, he's a good man.
He's one of them ones, where like if he was a Blues player and we didn't pick him, Maroons supporters would be like, oh, he'd fit into the Maroons camp. We'd pick him every day of the week.
Yeah, we'd pick him every day of the week. We'd never drop him. Mad. Okay.
Anyway.
Sweet.
Great news for Supercoaches.
I'll tell you what, if Beau Fermor was a New South Welshman, we would never drop him.
No,
We'd pick him every single time.
We love him.
We know guys that have got Origin written on their forehead. Talk to me.
Great news for Supercoaches. 61 points on the weekend. Pretty well all in base. He's played 10 games in the second row this season, mate, averaging 72.4 points. In his last 6 games, Roo, he's averaged 54.3 in base alone. He's 610K. He's dual-seated up 2RF. I know it's not a sexy option. I know it's a bit boring, but I tell you what, 72.4 in the back row. He's a back row with attacking upside too. Can find the line. I'm not doing it, but I like it.
Yeah, there are more exciting options out there, but I would never push back on it. He has had a few games there where he hasn't done overly well playing the entire 80 minutes, but they are pretty rare. Oh, they're the games you moved to centre. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I like it. Not a play I'll be making, but if I was... I was about to say if I was at the top, I might be looking at it. I probably still wouldn't. I can understand people doing it. I just think in today's modern game with the 6 agains and how fast it is, I want to go for my upside guys personally.
Honestly, just for the sake of Supercoach, you chase the excitement factor in those big
100%.
scores.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But like we're going to be sitting here in 6 weeks' time, and he'll have played this major buy round and a couple of mini buy rounds, and he'll be averaging probably 72.4 points. Going, geez, he'd have been handy to have through that period, wouldn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And if he can jump on, if he goes on one of these try scoring, it just sucks that he's at the Titans too.
I know.
Honestly, if he was at any other team, like who's second last at the moment? Are they Parramatta? Like mad if he's playing on the edge for Parramatta. That changes everything completely. It's just the Titans. They're just such a ball ache to watch, which is unfortunate. All right, Beau Fermor, like it. Scotty Drinkbloke, talk to me.
Yeah,
Scotty Drink Grumpy.
Spoke to Scotty Drinkwater in the SC Playbook subscriber podcast last week, and just having a look at some of Scotty Drinkwater's numbers on major buys, because I thought, a lot of people were looking to sell last week. He turned up obviously against the Storm, but so it was his 4th ton in 6 games. He scored 70 in 8 of his last 9 games with that 14 wedged in between. But obviously all the Origin plays out this week for the Cowboys and will be the same in round 18. Last year, played one of the major buy-rounds, tonned up against the Roosters, 101 points.
Yep.
In 2023, played 2 of the major buy-rounds without the Origin players, obviously scored 117 and 95. So the big fella lights up when the boys are out.
Is there, and I've got no stats whatsoever to back this up, is there any concern about Purdue stealing stats off him and touches,
that was the
or?
concern going into last week, and a lot of people saying that Purdue is basically taking that sweeping play on, I think it was
I think he's on the right side.
on the right edge.
Yep.
And that was a concern, and fair enough, but I mean, he just put 105 on Melbourne.
Yeah.
In
So
the wet.
you're not concerned?
Not enough to change anything, no. Potentially like around when you're looking at captains moving forward.
Yep.
Just in the short term while we're sort of seeing it play out, but not really, mate. Like, he doesn't have a bye at the end of the season, got the beautiful coverage through there. I'm going to get to after the third mini bye round in round, 19, just reassess from there whether he's a season keeper or whether you go to a Trell if Turbo can start firing up, whoever it might be, a Dill Edwards. So, but for the time being, mate, no.
Yeah. All right, our next man, Mark Nwanganitawase has been traded into my team 8 times. Also has been traded out of my team 8 times before kickoff. It's been a up and down relationship all year between me and Marky Mark. I love him. I don't think there's anything you could say to me here that could turn me against him, but I still don't think I'm ever going to own him. I just don't think I'm going to get there, Timbo.
I basically put him in here to get you fired up about him and just plant the seed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mate, it's half grown into a tree already. You won't have to do much for it. Talk to me.
I'm going to need to double check this because I feel like I've just written this afternoon in a rush and it wasn't right, but named at centre, obviously this week. 70-point average for the season, including a 70-point average in 4 games at centre. So basically, the centre thing doesn't change too much. I'm going to double check that live on X.
Can I just, while you are double checking that doesn't shock me in the slightest because, my God, he gets a lot of attacking stats at centre off offloads. You have a look at games where he's played centre, 57, 86, 46, 71, 72, 71. So, yeah, that just carrying the 1 in the head here, that looks like about a 70-point average there, mate.
Prox 70.
And, mate, to be honest with you, like, even in the last few weeks, like when he has been playing wing, like he scored a try last weekend and got 43 on the wing. Like I think that when he does get the ball at centre, mate, he breaks so many tackles. He has so many key offloads, and quite often he has an offload that leads to a line break assist. In a weird way, because he's not a guy that stacks up a heap of base stats, I kind of prefer him at centre for those reasons.
Are you tempted or not?
Oh, for the fucking 8th week in a row, I'm tempted.
Like, actually?
Oh, yeah, but
I don't
I'm
mean
also,
in a bad way. I'm like, I think he's a great buy.
I also think, mate, he's had an incredible season. It's been fantastic. He's gone over 86 twice. He's only got 3 scores above 80. Like he's been really good, but I think last weekend scared me off a little bit in that if he didn't score a try, he was in a bit of trouble there. So, but you have a look at his next few games: Newcastle, Cowboys, Tigers, Dragons. Pretty good matchups there, realistically. A lot of outside backs there who can't defend that he'll be going up against, that he'll fucking cause havoc against. But as I said, mate, I love him. I've tried to bring him in 8 fucking times. If I haven't got him already, I'm just not sure if it's going to happen.
He averaged 67 at centre, not 70, as I said. So not a huge difference, but some hard-hitting journalism there, and I apologise to readers.
When I'm genuinely looking at trading in Jermaine Osako this week. Fuck, I can pay $50K less and get Osako over Nwanganitawase. I'm probably leaning towards that at the moment.
Plays the next 2 major and mini buy rounds.
Yeah, Osako's -5 break even. He'll go up as well. He is firming rapidly to come into the Grizzlies. Mark's break-even's 113 as well. I'm just not sure if I'll end up owning him at any point this year, realistically. Next guy, name looks familiar. Tommy Turbo. Really dicked me. I know now that I've traded him out, he's going to come back and explode this week. Talk to me.
When I put this down, it was actually another seed planter in your head.
I'll give you the hot tip. I won't be trading him back in.
Yeah, no, I forgot that you
I
traded
won't
him
be using
out.
4 trades and losing 300K.
I forgot that you traded him out, and it's whilst I was certainly happy you not owning Pappy, it does make me feel good you not owning Turbo this week against the Titans without Mofot, Tino. Last 3 games against
Can't
the
believe you
Titans.
said it in that order, but anyway,
Yeah.
proceed. That's wild.
Last 3 games against the Titans, 174, 86 and 116. Last
Yep.
game against the Titans was 174. The 174 and 86 were both last year. The 116 was in 2021. It was his 3rd last game against them.
I think the greatest indictment to the Titans as a fucking entire existence, I reckon they would have the highest averaging Supercoach score against them of all time. Surely. Like you just mentioned Turbo's numbers there, mate. I remember during SJ's career, every time he would fly into the Gold Coast, 100 Supercoach
I'm pretty sure
points.
it was. I'm pretty
Like-
sure it was him against, the Titans. And I reckon Cleary put on 242 against, I feel like it was against Manly.
Mate, SJ used to fuck up the Titans every time
Yeah.
he played there. He would just take the piss. Tommy Turbo, yep, he's in for a very good week. And you know what? If you've held on to him for this long and you've persevered and you've been patient, you deserve a matchup like this. I hope he goes bonkers for you. If you had him, would you captain him this week against the Titans?
Game of the round do they play? Around game 2, 8 p.m. Friday.
Or would you VC him?
Probably not.
No. Oh, fuck, I would. I'm happy to admit I'm a sheep without a brain. But
We'll get to it's been a big day for us, Roo. I don't know how much study you've done, but there's a lot of good captaincy picks. A lot.
Mate, it's Tom Travojevic. I understand he's always, it is. If I still had him, if you've held on to him for this long, I'd be taking the punt because there's a lot of people that will hold on to him and will probably make the
Yeah.
wise decision like you not to do it. I'd be happy to chuck
I don't mind the
VC.
VC.
in.
No, like
VC,
not at
yeah.
all. Like they said, the Titans are pretty depleted. Manly and quite strong.
Yeah.
So it's like DC's Origin snub, Turbo himself back on. Like their side looks all right.
All right. Next one, Sharks Centre. Talk to me.
All right, this is probably the best. Centers, plural. So
I should have known that by not having an S on the end of it.
yes, well, Cat probably deleted it again. Cat deleted my
Okay.
stat deep dive names pre-show.
How dare she?
According to the document, your information was never inputted,
Oh,
Timmy.
file history. Ripped.
And I have receipts.
Such
So
shit, idiot. Such a nerd.
Do some work.
Shark centers.
Yeah.
Jesse Ramian. I'm a not that proud owner. I've only had him for like 2 weeks or something. So didn't play him on the weekend. 58 points. From that game where he had the concussion and played about 3 minutes, he's bottomed out off the back of that. That's fallen out of his rolling average. So he's 400k. 58 on the weekend against the Warriors. He had 1 line break as his only major attacking stat. 17 runs, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 8 tackles. This season in 13 games, 1 try and 1 try assist. Kale Iro out on the left edge. Maybe they go right a little bit more as a result. Maybe not, but food for thought. Anyway, mate, I don't think Ramian is a keeper as such, but for an extra 200k for people wanting the Nathan Lawson, so another 200k, and you get Jesse Ramian at 400k. He'll make money from there. He just sits as your 6th, 7th centre wing for the rest of the season. You play him on the major and mini buy rounds. Cheap as chips. I think it's a good buy.
As someone that brought Lawson last week, I would much rather have Ramian in my side
For 200k.
Yeah, 100%. I'd rather have Ramian. Lawson already with a break even of 0. It's a little bit alarming.
Yeah, I think he's a good buy. Morwene Hiroti, pardon me, is the other one, 391k. Falls into the spot of KL Iro. Iro, as we know, scored in every game there this season.
Yep.
Hiroti, 3 games at centre this year, excluding his injury-impacted game. He averages 77.7 with 44 in base.
Yeah, he's a base monster.
And also, in those 3 games he played at centre, I believe in that left centre position for Iro, 3 tries. Good spot to be.
Very good spot to be. The Ramian stuff has me very interested. So does the Hiroti stuff, actually. What's Hiroti's break even and stuff? What are we talking about here? His break even is 34.
Hectic base there.
Yeah, very, very impressive base. And his base is better at centre than his 1 game on the wing too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, food for thought there. Yeah. The Sharky centres are looking very appealing.
I'm quite
So
interested.
no, they play this week. They don't play 18.
No, but they play the 2 minis, which will be tough.
Yep.
So I'm very tempted by Hiroti to join Ramy, and I am conscious of the fact that that'll be 5 Sharkies players, and they've bedshit 2 games in a row.
That is the concern. You just never know what the Sharkies do. Yeah. Who are your 5 Sharkies? Ramy, Nikita, Hines. If you were to get Hiroti, that'll be 4. Who's your last one?
AFB.
Oh, yeah.
I went Haas to AFB that first major buy round.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Also would like him to do more than he is.
Yep. I'm going to give him a few more weeks, then I'll make a call on that. But this is a concern. This is definitely.
I wouldn't mind him scoring a try like he has every week for the last 3 years that I haven't owned him. Wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. Have you been working out? You look unreal in that jersey.
Thanks, mate. I think it's just a good kit, but I think the kit actually brings it out in
What
you.
about the Warwick Farms on the kid? That jersey's doing wonders for you.
It's a mirage, but that's the beauty of the jersey.
Great jersey.
Have you, mate?
Yeah, just been shifting a bit of tin.
The mirage of the jersey.
What's that?
The mirage of the jersey.
I thought you said the maroon. I was going to fucking flip a table. It's plum. The jerseys will be coming out very soon, so stay tuned for details. You can look as good as myself and Timmy in a few weeks if you're in the top 30, which you'll have to move quickly if you want to get in. We don't just take fucking anybody over here. We're not the Canberra Raiders. We take a select few people that are made of the right stuff to either be a stallion, whatever the fuck that means, or to be a grizzly, a true winner. So stay tuned for details. They'll be available very soon. It will be fastest finger that'll win.
Just a drive-by on the Stallions and the Raiders in the same sentence. That was a bit unwarranted.
No, well, can't win them all. But your Raiders are winning a lot of them at the moment, so I don't feel sorry for you. Okay, trades and captains. So trades-wise for me, and I will be completely honest with you guys, I'm very open book. It's been a long day. It was a longer weekend.
We've basically been recording since it unlocked today at 11 o'clock.
We pretty much haven't stopped. These two have had lozenges. I haven't. I've just been pushing through. Just been going dry through this bad boy. So stay tuned to the Roo Crew throughout the week to get my final trades. I'm sure Timmy will be the same. There's a bit of umming and ahhing. We haven't really had too many chances. His trades won't be in the Roo Crew because we don't like him, but they'll be on SC Playbook if you're a subscriber and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. I think Cat will be the same a little bit later in the week. We'll be making decisions.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Yeah. But at the moment, well, the 2 trades I've made as it stands right now, Timbo, I have decided to go Tamale to Jermaine Osako. And can we dive into a bit of Nath Cleary chart? Now, I believe you did a deep dive on SC Playbook.
We did, but let's do it.
All right, so go and have a listen to that for that extra deep dive. But, mate, I'm looking to move off Nathan Cleary. Jerome Hughes, it's like he's pushed my mother down a flight of stairs. I can't even look at the bloke at the moment after what he did to me in draft. So I'm looking elsewhere. Isaiah Katoa comes to mind. Dally Cherry Evans at 460k comes to mind. Just been brushed from Queensland Origin. Getting Turbo back. I like the draw over the last few weeks. Going DCE has never worked out well for me outside of that 1 year where him and Kohler exploded for me, which was good. At 460k, averaging 60. Manly going up against a flat track against the Titans this week. I find it kind of appealing. What do you reckon?
Yeah, so just firstly on Cleary, obviously Origin/bye this week. Not expected to go to New Zealand the week after on the quick turnaround. Doggies in round 17, bye in round 18, so likely to miss minimum 3 of the next 4 weeks. I think he's a sell. You don't have to if you're well set up, but I think he's a sell. I like the Cherry Evans play. I do. I think the play is probably Jerome Hughes next week, but this is a major buy-down. Like, this is where you want them for. And I just think the draw of Cherry Evans, put it this way, and we said it on the Playbook Potty, at 461k, it's not going to go wrong, but it could go very right. Like, we know he's got a big ceiling on him. He's already scored 130 and 105 this season. He's dirt cheap. Like, Titans on the Goldie, bye. Tigers and Bunnies both at Brookie. And I said on that as well, if you're getting in, say, Katoa or Cherry Evans, you're not getting him as a season, getting either of them in as season keepers. You're getting him in for a month, and then you trade him out to Nathan Cleary post-Origin. So I just think that, there's a huge play in Cherry Evans at that ridiculous price. Even if he's out of form, not looking that confident, I think he's a good play.
And if anything's going to get him back in form, it's a kick in the teeth that he's got this week.
Exactly
which I
right.
like.
He's going to have
Yeah.
the biggest chip on the shoulder and a point to prove off the back of it. So, like, recent seasons, he's averaged 66, 77, 66, 79. Like, yeah.
Yeah, plays the Titans this week, but then he's got the Tigers, South Sydney. Yeah, I think this is probably the play I'm going for. The more I look at it, the more I'm thinking I will go for this one at 460K.
I don't mind, and I know how big a fan you are of Katoa as well, but like the Katoa play, look, put it this way, I would go Ches because of the prize. Like Isaiah Katoa, 60-point average, 68-point average, lowest score this year, 42 back in round 4. His second lowest score is 52. He scored one try and had one line break all season. Dolphins coming into form, good coverage as well. He's a good buy too.
He is a good buy. I am much more of a vibesman per se when it comes to SuperCoach Classic, and I will be influenced by other things happening in my life, like my draft and whatnot. Mate, I'm enjoying watching Isaiah Katoa so much every week. I don't think I'm going to fuck it up with SuperCoach.
Fair.
I just want to sit back and watch this young buck fuck for the rest of the season and not have SuperCoach screw it around. I'm going to have a little slice of him with Osako, I think. But I think DCE at, 150K cheaper, that's probably going to be the play for me.
I like it.
Getting Turbo back, getting Saar back on that wing, the band's back together on the right edge, DCE something to prove. They're the two trades I'm leaning to, and it leaves me with a pretty scintillating 442K in the Hillary Swank for me to use over the next few weeks. So I am liking the look of that. Only leaves me with 16 trades, which scares the shit out of me, but that's what I'm thinking of doing. What's your play at the moment? Tuesday night, deep in the trench. Talk to me.
So I had the 3-week plan of halfback roulette. I'll be going Cleary to Nico Hines, whilst 3-round average about 59 or 57 or something.
Halfback
Nico,
roulette.
Yeah.
That's got spy written all over it.
It is. It's
mad. I
Spy
love
coined
it.
fullback roulette. I halfback rouletted and paid off with Husey last week after a very nervous start the week before. But Nico, not setting the world alight, but regardless of a drop in form and SuperCoach scoring, Nico still fits into that category of scares the shit out of me not to own. So I'll be getting him at a nice discount. From there, mate, this where like I'll update things, but things are just moving so quick. Like I know he went poor last week, but I'm still pretty keen on Jaden Campbell. I do think he's a season keeper in that 5'8" position. I can go Munster to him in one hit. Dill Brown, who's now pushed a ref trying to chase a freaking ball and gets suspended for a week, load of rot.
Got what he deserved.
Please. So he's gone now from round 15 and 16 because he has the bye this week. Not the end of the world because I was happy to sell Dill Brown anyway. He's looked ordinary, but I can't go Brown to Campbell in one hit. I'm like 20K short. If I could have done that, that'd be me done.
Yep.
I have 12 and a half players this week, the half being Sand, and that's before trades. If Sand was playing or started, it'd change a little bit, but that makes me a little nervous. So maybe I do a little play and free up some cash with Hiroti. I've got some things I need to work out. Kiraz, I think I'm going to wait until after their bye next week.
Yep.
What are you giggling at?
I'm just giggling. So you've got 12 players and then Sandon Smith. So you're calling that 12 and a half?
Yeah.
Right. So if I've got 14 players and Tui Simpkins, what do I have? What am I, like 14.2, 14.3?
Yeah. But you've got a few halves in there as well. Like you've got King Togo. He's in the halves department in more than one way. He's like, I don't have any bad players outside of now Sandon, who's off the bench.
Yeah.
Like you got a couple in there, right?
I've got a Lawson. I've got a King Tongia. I've got I got a couple of like for likes cut from the same cloth as Tui Simpkins in there.
Yeah,
so.
like my worst outside of Sandon off the bench is like I've got Billy Smith. I'm like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm happy to play Billy Smith this week. All right, so we'll get updates in our trades later in the week from all three of us on our many platforms you'll be able to see. Stay tuned to podcasts and whatnot. Let's have a look at captaincy options. And
There's a lot.
oh boy.
Speaking of torn.
Yeah, I am all at sea with this at this very moment. What are you thinking? Jesus, there's a lot of options.
I know. I'll be honest. I'm up in the air.
All right, well, should we just go game for game and talk about the standouts?
Do that, yeah.
So Sharkies, Dragons, I think Nico Hines comes to mind immediately. You've got 18 other Sharkies in your side. Who else is jumping out at you? Are we expecting the Sharks to get off the bus for this week? What are we?
Yeah, I think they have to.
Right,
Local derby. I like Nico as a VC.
Yep.
Quite a bit. I don't love doing it in Thursday night games, but I do think it sets up well. So I think he's a decent play.
Dragons, no one sparks my interest there. All right, Titans, Manly. If you're a Turbo owner, I like the VC there. I don't mind for myself a Daly Cherry Evans play potentially. Talk to me about Olakau'atu. You're an owner. I'm not. Any interest?
Do you have interest in buying him or not?
Mate, I don't. I've said this before about Olakau'atu, and I kind of feel like I've been proven right. And he does score a lot of tries, 100%. But when he doesn't, I don't want anything to do with him. He hasn't scored that many tries this year, I don't think.
He's averaging 72.
Is he really? Okay, maybe I haven't been proven right then. I haven't been paying much attention to him. Yeah, because did you see what happened on About Even last week? We had a blacklist of players that haven't scored tries and aren't scoring tries. It went Kai Pearce-Paul, Jenkins, Olakau'atu, and Ramian. Ramian was on the bye and the other three scored.
You're kidding.
Would have been like a 60-1 multi. And it was sitting right in front of us the entire time.
Whoa.
Week before, the Broncos game, and he got his double.
Yeah, it was that game.
Yeah.
Yep. Kai Pearce-Paul scored for the first time in 7 years, and fucking Tom Jenkins scored to ruin my bet. It was mad.
Do you still have Tom Jenkins?
Nope. Shout out to the Penrith Panthers, by the way, giving us a little collab on some
That's
Supercoach
hectic.
content.
That's so good from them.
You love to see NRL clubs starting to realise that there's Supercoach. This is where your die-hard fans are. I love to see it. It's unreal.
The purists.
The purest. Very good.
But yes, so VC. Oh, sorry, we're going through the games. Mate, I think you can make a genuine case for Tom Trbojevic, Olakau'atu, Cherry Evans, Ruben Garrick. In that case, I think there are better options this weekend, I will say. But against the Titans with players out on the Goldie, if the weather's good, you can make a case for every one of them.
What about Garrick?
Yeah, I mean,
He's a scary one.
especially with like the beauty of it is as well. You won't like to hear this as a non-Ola owner, but Ches getting snubbed by the Maroons is huge for Ola and Garrick on the right.
Yeah, fucking oath it is. It's enormous. Yeah, so Garrick with that goal kicking, he's one to seriously consider. Newcastle Roosters. Mate, Teddy perks my interest, but I do, despite Newcastle and how shit they are defensively, they do tend to show up for games at home, off a win. I don't know. The Roosters obviously missing players, but this young brigade that comes in for them, they just look sensational every time. What are your thoughts on Teddy?
I mean, I like him.
Yeah.
He's a great option, but said with so many good options this week, the Knights have like the second or third best defence in the NRL. They defend well this year. I like Fletcher Sharp.
I was going to ask you which one out of those two you prefer Fletch against the Roosters in this one. Oh, I feel so rank, but
Doing
I
Sharp
get it.
over Teddy.
Yeah, it makes me squirm in my seat.
In Newey though, Roosters are missing a heap.
Yeah, but they're fucking better when they're missing.
Yeah, I know.
These young guys come in. What have they done? They've knocked over Penrith with that reserve grade squad. They gave it to
they
Cronulla
suck.
with that reserve. And Sam Walker's back in.
They suck, but Sharp scored awesome all year whilst they have sucked.
Yeah, that's fair.
Your mate Jacko Hastings, he's going to put him in positions, give him space.
Yeah, my only concern is they just have no middle forwards. No middle forwards at all.
Yeah.
That's my worry. And we know what this young Roosters pack is like. They'll be up and about for this one. I wouldn't. If you go Fletcher Sharp, you're ballsier than me. I don't have the set to do it. I don't think you do either, just quietly.
Mate, you said that 3 weeks ago and I was the only one who did it and he pulled
You
it off.
VC'd him, dickhead, not seeing him.
Yeah, but it was on the major bite where you get 2 cracks.
Okay, so you had 2 cracks at it. Put your cape away, for fuck's sake. Carry on King over there. That's unbelievable.
Oh.
Like claiming you jumped out of a plane, you had a parachute on your back.
Well, no, I'd be
outrageous.
VCing this week as well, so...
Of course you would be. I'm saying if you're going to go for the big C, like if you went for like a Nico or a DCE first or a Garrick first or someone, I think the C on Fletcher Sharp would be ballsy as fuck. Let's move to the Cowboys Dolphins. Scotty Drinkbloke is obviously a big standout for me in that game. Cowboys obviously missing a number of Origin players, but they're another team. History tells us during Origin they tend to go all right. Drinky stands up in those games.
He does. Dolphins are red hot. I mean, they're missing players, but they've been missing players all season. Like, they're missing, Hammer to Origin and anyone else?
You mean just to Origin or injuries?
Yeah, to Origin.
Oh, just to Origin, yeah. It's just
Like, they're not missing that much. Cowboys missing heaps. I think Dolphins probably do a number on them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just like, even if Melbourne did a number on the Cowboys in the week and he still scored 105 because
That game could be 40 to 38 though.
Yeah,
There's so many good options.
Yeah. For the Finn, if you're one of the very few Jermaine Asako owners like me, I have an interest in him.
Risky.
Even Herbie Farnworth, risky. What's so risky about it?
Jermaine Asako.
What's wrong with Jermaine Asako?
Well, I wouldn't be captaining him.
Why not?
VC, if you want to VC him into Keon C, sure, I wouldn't straight C.
Why not?
Because he has low scores this year of 30, 39, 34, 40, 47.
Drinky scored 7 2 weeks ago. What are we talking about? I don't mind the Asako play.
Straight?
I mean, it's the second last game of the week. If my VC doesn't do well, which giving my
If
track
you want to
record, it probably
VC
won't.
Asako into C Keon, I'll get around that.
Okay, I can hear that. Last game of the week, South Sydney, Canterbury, Keon from South Sydney, the only real option that's coming to mind for me. Canterbury, anyone from Kiraz, I guess?
Kiraz would be the one. Kiraz would be a great VC. I just don't know about straight C late.
Well, it's probably not worth VCing Kiraz because it's the last game of the week. Are you new to this game? Have you not played much before? You're not okay.
It's
Sweet.
too late at night for you to twist my words.
No, I'm just making sure you have the slightest fucking idea what you're talking about. Yeah, he plays on Sunday, so it's probably not worth VCing him. It'll be hard to captain someone after him in the next week. I don't mind Kira as a captain option for what it's worth. I don't own him, but I think that would be entertaining to watch. I'll be honest with you, Tim. We've just gone through every single game, named every single player under the sun, and I am no closer to deciding
I
who my
agree.
vice captain and captain is.
Gun to head, what are you doing right now?
Pull the trigger. I'm done. It's too early. I don't know. Gun to head. I'm probably going to VC Garrick. I'm leaning towards, and I will probably captain. I'll tell you what. I actually don't mind the Osako play. I wouldn't mind just being the only doing it. It'll depend how the other capture options go throughout the weekend.
You know, this could work in your favour as well and could score 150, but I feel like the Dolphins have games where, if they have success down the left, like through Herbie and Bostock early, they could just pepper it.
Yes.
And Osaka just gets a cold on the right. Could happen the other way around
They have
as
a
well.
good or a bad side.
Yeah, it happens.
And when they find a good side, they
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind the Osako play. I'm also not against a Teddy play as a safe play. I hate captaining front row forwards. I know the Cows are good.
it's
I
so
hate
boring.
doing it, but fuck, I'd be so much better off if I just captained Terrell May every game this year.
The Raiders, who have arguably the best pack in the competition at the moment, he scored 84 in base against them last week.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's so fucked.
Gun to my head, VC Hines, C Keon. I know it's boring, but those numbers are ridiculous.
I'll tell you what, and I know he's a different cat to everyone else, and I get it, but captaining a front row forward the week after they score a try as well, it feels like such a dickhead play from 3 years ago. It feels like such a I'm new to SuperCoach, I don't know what I'm doing, I thought I could VC on a Sunday kind of stuff. Like it makes me feel like an absolute nuffy doing it. That was a drive-by on you. I don't know if you picked up on that. But
Yeah, no, I agree.
I hate it. Has anything come to your mind? Nothing? Okay, sweet. Stay tuned for later in the week. We'll let you know what we're doing there. But honestly, I think this last 10 minutes of conversation and dialogue probably shows this is a week where you back in your gut feel.
back your
Don't listen
gut.
to us. Don't
Take
listen
your
to any
pick.
content creators. Fuck them. Just do your thing this week because I think
Yeah.
mate, if there's one or two that go big, it could be a really important 2 or 3 days.
There's
as far
10.
as the season
There's
goes.
10 blokes there. There's only 5 games. There's 10 blokes who could go 150 plus.
Yep, 100%. Let me ask you, what is the VC score that you take this weekend? 100? Free loop for 100?
No, it's a free go, so free go, probably 90.
90, yeah, is where you draw the line.
On a free loop, 90's pretty bloody good.
Yeah, very fair.
What about you?
Yeah, probably 90. Oh, mate, if it's an 85, I could be convinced. If it's an 85 that I think updates could go higher, I'd probably take that, to be honest with you. Be mad if we get updates in before the Sunday game, just quietly.
Be handy.
We'd love to see it. All right, are we done and doosted?
We are.
Big day. It's been fantastic. We've got late show to come a little bit later tonight, so stay tuned for that. Also, guys, next week, Beers and Breakevens will be doing the same thing we do for all Origin weeks. We'll be dropping it around about midday on Wednesday. So sneak it in Wednesday afternoon, enjoy your Origin football, consume all that shit, and then maybe come back to it later in the week if you want to listen to it. But we'll both do on Thursday or Friday or something, both on our podcast. We'll jump on and talk about ramification of Origin because I think that'll be really important.
Huge next week.
Yeah, that'll be enormous. So, that'll be a white knuckle affair there. Lontel, major sponsors for 2025. The link is in the description. Go and check them out. 1 week free internet. You don't hand over any card details, anything like that. 1 week free to see how you like it and then make a decision. Blue Wealth Property, they've got those events coming up in Queensland that you can attend. Sunshine Coast and Brisbane. If you're a Queenslander up there, make sure you get out to them. Reach out to Morts and Tony and the team at Blue Wealth Property. Education that you put in the skyrocket, you might not use today, but you can use tomorrow or in a future. Tomorrow's tomorrow.
Nicely done, mate.
Very good. Thanks for being here tonight, Kat.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next week.